Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to Check-In Friday. I hope you're all having an amazing day. And I hope you're all ready for the weekend. We sure are. Tonight we're going to dinner with friends. We're really excited. So on Wednesday we went over Ecclesiastes 1 and 2. And today we're going to go over the questions for Ecclesiastes 1 and 2. To begin reading through the first chapter of Ecclesiastes, what is your first impression of this speaker? What do we learn of this preacher in Ecclesiastes 12, 9 through 10? What else do we learn of the preacher in Ecclesiastes 1:1 and 1:12? And then for reference, you can look up the following verses: 1 Kings 2, 10 through 12, 1 Kings 4, 29 to 34, and 1 Kings 1 through 2, 5, 14, 22, and 65 through 66. Note that the preacher in the book's first and final lines is introduced in the third person, but the main body of the book beginning in Ecclesiastes 1:12. How does the preacher refer to himself? How might the narrative perspective affect the book and our reading of it? What general observations would you make about the book's opening prologue/poem in Ecclesiastes 1, 2 through 11? According to Genesis 3, 17 through 19, when and why was the creation subjected to fertility in this way? According to the same verses, to what is Adam made subject at this point? Now read Ecclesiastes 1:3 and the content of these other verses. Comment on the preacher's frustration. Do you relate to the frustration expressed in Ecclesiastes 1, 2 through 3? In what situations have you experienced or witnessed similar feelings? In Ecclesiastes 1:4, what aspects of human life stands out in contrast to earth itself? When the preacher looks into the world of nature, what aspects of the world emerges and how through the three particular examples he chooses? Think on the lines of Ecclesiastes 1:8. How is it a response to the three preceding verses? In Ecclesiastes 1, 9 through 11, how does he answer the question he asked in Ecclesiastes 1:3? In what sense is the preacher right to say that there is nothing new under the sun? In the first cycle, verses 12 through 15, what specific things does the preacher want to know about his search? In the second cycle, verses 16 through 18, what is his method and focus of the search? Find all the references and wisdom in Ecclesiastes 1, 12 through 18 from this contents. What can we say about wisdom? How do the following verses enlarge our understanding of wisdom? So Proverbs 9:10, Jeremiah 8:9, Daniel 2:27 to 28, and 1 Corinthians 1:18 to 25. What do the repeated pictures of the wind in Ecclesiastes 1 make you feel, see, and understand? What verses of Ecclesiastes 1 strike you most personally and why? And then on to Ecclesiastes 2. First, there is pleasure, Ecclesiastes 2, 1 through 3. What sort of pleasure are mentioned in these verses? How does 1 Kings 4, 20 to 28 expand our perspective on these pleasures? What does Ecclesiastes 2, 1 through 3 show us the preacher's conclusion and perspective concerning such pleasure? Second, there are projects. Ecclesiastes 2, 4 through 6. List the projects that occupy the preacher. How do the following verses expand our perspective on Solomon's projects? 1 Kings 6:38, 1 Kings 7, 7 through 12, and 1 Kings 9, 23 to 24, and 26. Third, there are possessions. Ecclesiastes 2, 7 through 8. List and evaluate the possessions mentioned in these verses. Hang on, guys. I gotta let Snowball in. Come here, Snowball. read 1 Kings 10:14 through 29. What details strike you as you read this vivid description of Solomon's wealth? What do you notice about his conclusion in Ecclesiastes 2:11 as he stands out back and evaluate all these actions? As he compares wisdom to folly, what is the short-term judgment and why? Ecclesiastes 2:13 to 14. What is his long-term judgment and why? Ecclesiastes 2:14 through 16. What words or phrases in Ecclesiastes 2:24 to 26 reveal a different set of attitudes and emotions? The reality of God clearly breaks through here. What is the role of God in each of these verses? Ecclesiastes 2:24, 2:25, and 2:26. What is the final verse of Ecclesiastes 2? What different sort of things do we see God giving to these two kinds of people? What is the effect of the final statement in Ecclesiastes 2? Look back through Ecclesiastes 2, compare and contrast the different perspectives at work. Look back through the first two chapters. What do you find to be the rhythm or shape of the book so far? Who are sinners according to the following verses? Ecclesiastes 7:20, Proverbs 29, Isaiah 53:6, and Romans 3:23. I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope those questions help you while we're looking through the book. And join me on Monday. Talk to you all then. Bye.